The $500 Folly, a high-stakes tale of treasure and technical malfunction. The luckiest mistake of my life. I gambled $500 on this box without looking and found 18-karat gold. What is up, my treasure hunters, my fellow risk-takers, and the best audience on the internet? I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in today. Get ready, because what you are about to witness is a story of pure, unadulterated, caffeine-fueled panic mixed with the kind of reckless abandon that only a true treasure addict can understand. This isn't just a video. It's a financial thriller played out on a suburban lawn. Escalating pawn shop diplomacy, the yard sale showdown. Picture this. It was a Saturday morning, the kind of morning that smells faintly of freshly cut grass, burnt coffee, and the overwhelming scent of missed opportunity. I was not supposed to be there. I had no intentions of joining the frenzied masses of bargain hunters. My mission was purely paternal. A simple trip to get the kids squared away with fresh haircuts before the Monday morning bell rang, signaling the start of a new school year. But as any seasoned hunter knows, the universe operates on its own set of cruel, tantalizing coincidences. We passed through a neighborhood hosting one of those massive community sales, a supernova of discarded possessions. I swear, the truck practically steered itself onto the curb. I had precisely zero of my professional gear. No GoPro, no industrial strength scale, no chemical testing kit, not even my reliable loop. All I had were my Ray-Ban metaglasses, recording innocuously, if a little erratically, what would become the most frustrating and profitable 3 minutes of my career. The irony is thicker than a banker's wallet. I walked up to a table, and there it was, a humble, unassuming cardboard box. It was a Trojan horse disguised as a prop from a local amateur play, a repository of mixed costume jewelry. The seller, a lovely, older lady who clearly just wanted the clutter gone, had slapped a price tag on the whole chaotic assemblage, a mere $15. $15. That's the price of a fancy coffee and a scone. Immediately, I noticed a flicker, a tiny, gold glint amidst the tangled mess of base metals and plastic beads. It was a ring, solitary and dull, tucked into a smaller box within a larger one. My brain went into instant overdrive, the internal calculations firing faster than a stock ticker on opening day. I didn't know the carat, I didn't know the weight, but I knew the color. I had to know more. This was not just a piece of costume jewelry. This was the opening salvo in what would become a brutal 30-second negotiation that felt like an hour-long international arms deal. I inquired about the single ring. How much for this one? I asked, trying to keep the ravenous hunger out of my voice. She smiled, a sweet, grandmotherly smile that was simultaneously disarming and dangerous. She wasn't an expert. She was just selling a memory. She was selling the whole box for one price, she explained, because it's just a mixture of all costume. I noticed a microscopic stamp, something my naked eye couldn't properly decipher. I fumbled for my makeshift tool, a cheap, powerful magnifying glass I happen to have. I tried desperately to read the inscription, straining against the bright morning sun, muttering, "It's hard to say. I can't see what it says." She confirmed my suspicions. Some of her other jewelry did have hallmarks. She simply wasn't sure about the contents of this chaotic box, assuming it was all throwaway filler. In that moment of shared, semi-informed confusion, I threw out a lowball offer for the ring itself. "I'll give you $5 for this ring," I said. She accepted immediately. It felt like a tiny victory, a single battle won. But the war was just beginning. Then, the turning point. I asked if she had anything else, anything at all, that she might be looking to sell. She paused, and then, her face lighting up with a flicker of avarice and hope, she said she did. She mentioned a gentleman was coming to appraise it, suggesting there was a collection of higher quality items lurking somewhere in the shadows. I countered instantly, "Look, if you're interested in selling, maybe I'll make you an offer on a whole lot now, or I'll just take a look and give you my honest opinion." That was the line. That was the phrase that brought forth the big box. She retreated briefly and returned, not with the high-end stuff she'd mentioned, but with this box, the box of pure, chaotic potential. It was heavy, and as she moved it, I saw more glints, two more rings, a pair of distinct earrings, and a tangled mass of what could only be necklaces and chains. My heart rate spiked. I wasn't looking at costume. I was looking at density. And that is when the antagonist, the rival treasure hunter, the lady of pure competitive pressure, came into the frame. She materialized out of nowhere, a shadow in the peripheral vision, leaning over my shoulder with the desperate intensity of a vulture spotting carrion. She started peppering the seller with questions, her voice sharp and intrusive. "Are there any necklaces in there? Any bracelets? What exactly have you got?" The pressure was excruciating. I was trapped between my need for a closer look and her blatant attempt to hijack the deal. I had not looked through it all. I hadn't tested a single piece, and I certainly hadn't weighed anything. But I had to make a move. The rival lady's looming presence was a ticking clock. In that split-second decision, the kind that separates a casual shopper from a committed gambler, I made a mental calculation. I had spotted enough weight to estimate, conservatively, about 7 to 9 grams of what looked like gold. The current market price dictated that to break even on a potential gamble, I needed roughly 12 grams. It was a shortfall, but the density of the box felt promising. I saw a pathway to profit, but required a terrifying leap of faith. I cut off the antagonist and the seller mid-sentence. I looked at the lady and, with a voice that I hoped sounded like authority and not desperation, I stated my intention. "I'll take a chance. Would you take $500 for the box?" $500. I'd gone from negotiating $5 for a single ring to dropping $500 on a box of glorified junk. The seller's reply was immediate, shocking, and sealed the deal. Sure. The deal was done. The gamble was laid. My gut was screaming both in terror and elation. I figured if it turned out to be 11, 12, or 13 grams, I'd be roughly breaking even, but there was a good chance, a good shot, that this could be a solid winning box. The rival hunter's face, frozen in a silent snarl of disbelief, was almost worth the $500 alone. The lost footage, a tragedy of epic proportions. And here is where the technical failure, the true comedic tragedy of this epic tale, begins. Like I told you, I didn't have my reliable GoPro. I was recording on the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, technology that is simultaneously futuristic and infuriatingly unreliable. I have to admit, I'm so annoyed right now. The most interesting, most suspenseful, most climactic part of the entire transaction, the offer, the acceptance, the rival buyer's look of defeat, the moment I handed over the crisp $500, was lost to the digital ether. I looked through the footage later, and the story of my technological failure is a saga in itself. The very first video, where I'm looking at the initial ring, runs for exactly 3 minutes. Then, the glasses with the dramatic timing of a terrible actor die. The next video, the one you just saw the end of, starts later. It captures the seller telling me the prices and me looking through the box. I remember reaching on my hand, thinking I was resetting the recording, restarting the crucial footage. Nope. It took 2 screenshots instead. 2 silent, useless snapshots of a deal. What you didn't see, the absolute core of the story, was the actual purchase. The moment I became $500 poorer and potentially $1,000 richer. I'm truly irritated that I did not record the actual transaction. I don't typically use these glasses at yard sales. I was only wearing them because I wasn't even planning to be at a yard sale that day. A simple trip for a haircut turned into this high-stakes fumble, and the record of the crucial moment is gone forever. I missed the climax of my own movie. It is what it is. I gotta start editing the video before we look through the box. That way I can just... Well, editing is a process where you've got to make it flow to keep it as interesting as possible. I've got to edit the video and make it seem like the purchase was seamless, but you all deserve the truth. The moment of truth was missed. The gods of content creation were not smiling on me that day. The grand unboxing. Truth amidst the junk. All right, enough with the existential technical angst. The time for the grand reveal is now. I paid $500. The question remains, was it a folly or a fortune? Was my high-pressure, caffeine-fueled gamble worth the pain? I'm back in the shop now, the place where the truth is told. I brought the box back, and I've barely touched it. The initial $5 ring, the one that started it all, is here. I couldn't see the mark at the sale, but now, under a proper light and magnification, I can confirm it's stamped. I saw a 7 and a 5, and yes, I can now scan it. This ring is 9-karat gold. It weighs 2.2 grams. A definite win on a $5 investment. The rest of the box, however, is the terrifying unknown. I'm starting the inventory now. It's a mix of chaos and potential wealth. I didn't see most of these items. They were buried at the bottom. First up, a small box I don't remember opening. Inside, a little something, and nope, that is definitely not gold. Down one. Next, a pair of small, nondescript earrings. I didn't see these at the sale either. Let's shoot them with the scanner. Silver. So, silver at best. Not a jackpot, but not a total loss. But this I did see. This was the piece that started my internal clock ticking. A necklace the seller said was 9-karat. Let's scan it right now. 9.2 carat. Yes, this stuff is good. A significant piece of the puzzle, and a major confirmation that my initial gut feeling was sound. I placed the 9-karat pieces into the good pile, which has now started to look impressive. I pick up a peculiar item, a metal object, a medal, and the seller had stated it was from World War I. Now, I don't know much about this kind of stuff, especially not American military history, but I do know that people want decent money for them. I see prices ranging from $89 to $248 on similar items online. Maybe it's real, maybe it's a replica. The box it came in looks genuine, so we will hold on to that as a potential bonus piece of historical value. More junk, some watches I saw in a box. Neither is gold, so they go to the reject pile. Then a quiet, unassuming piece buried deep. It's stamped. I pull it closer. 375. 375. That is 9-karat gold right there. And it's heavy. This piece alone is a win. It has beads on it, which will have to be removed to get the pure gold weight, but that is a significant find. This box is fighting back. I find another ring, similar in style to the ones I first saw. Stamped 375, 9-karat gold. Good. I'm tallying the weight in my head. We are well past the break-even point now. I pull out an item I didn't see at all, another necklace. 9-karat also. The stones will need to be popped out, but they look relatively easy to remove, reducing the weight to the pure metal. Now, those little spoons and forks I saw, they don't look silver to me. A quick scan confirms my suspicion. They're not silver. Into the reject pile they go. The earrings I saw, the ones that added to my initial 7 to 9 gram estimate, are here. They scan as 9-karat. Success. But now for the true shock. I pick up a ring, one of the heavier pieces. I thought I'd seen it, or maybe one like it. I knew there was a piece like this. The seller told me she thought it was 9-karat, just like the others. I look at the mark, straining my eyes. The stamp is clear, 118. This ring is actually 18-karat gold. I didn't have a loop, I didn't have my testing kit, but my blind, panicked gamble paid off with a piece of 18-karat gold. This is the definition of a lucky hit. I have no reason to lie. I show a lot better scores than this on YouTube, but this one is special because of the pure recklessness involved. The fact that I was willing to pay $500 on a blind hunch that landed me an 18-karat gold ring is a story in itself. The remaining finds continue to be 9-karat gold, another mother's ring, a few more chains, and pieces I literally did not even see because they were at the bottom of the box. One of the larger necklaces alone has some serious weight, 8 grams of 9-karat gold. We have found a treasure trove disguised as junk. The final accounting, from $500 to $1,700. I'll let you see the final tally now. I paid $500 in cash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The deal was done. We have a significant pile of precious metal here. It's a mixture of 9-karat and one glorious piece of 18-karat gold. After removing the beads, the non-gold pieces, and the stones, the final tally is in. We have found 37.8 grams of 9-karat gold, and we have 3 grams of the exquisite 18-karat gold. Let's do the math on the spot. 37.8 grams of 9-karat gold translates to a melt value of approximately $1,492. The 3 grams of 18-karat gold, a beautiful bonus, is worth an additional $236. Adding it all together, the value of the box is approximately $1,700. I paid $500 and the contents are worth over $1,700. Like I said, that's what happened. People can believe it or not. I've been doing YouTube long enough to know you're not going to make everybody happy. But I have no reason to fabricate this story. I showed you the $500 payment. I showed you the terrible quality of the footage. I showed you the chaos of the unboxing. I wasn't even planning on going to yard sales that day. I didn't have my scale, I didn't have my magnifying glass. I had nothing. I want to get my kids' haircuts that Saturday morning because they started school Monday. And we just stopped there and found a lucky hit. It was a semi-gamble that turned into a spectacular win, purely because of a gut feeling, a rival buyer's pressure, and the sheer audacity of the $500 offer. Thank you, my friends, for joining me on this chaotic, frustrating, and wildly profitable adventure. The next video will cover the dramatic process of de-beating the heavy pieces and the final weigh-in at the refinery. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter in the saga of the yard sale high roller.